Hello, friends. James Stevenson back with another edition of James's Gems of the Week. This one will be for June 12th through June 18th. What's James's Gems of the Week? Well, this is a special little feature I've started recently, just going through stuff that I liked on Twitter and explaining why. So you can do this with anybody. You just go to Twitter, you go to their profile, and you click on likes, and you can see everything they've tweeted. But what you cannot get is that priceless voiceover commentary. In my case, it's the internal monologue that was occurring when I liked that tweet, to the best of my recollection. So what I will do, and here's how this works, I'll just walk you through it, is I just bring up, let's see here, Twitter. Now I've made this bigger and I've made the font size bigger. So hopefully people can see the screen pretty well, even if they're viewing on a phone, right? If not, I'll try and talk you through it as I go. So this is just what James's Twitter looks like. You get a tweet here from Earl of Frunk Puppy talking about driving a U-Haul to Alaska. You get a tweet here from Gary Black. This is pretty typical of what I see in my news feed. Chicken Genius here talking about stuff, but that's not why you're here. What you're here for is, if you go to my profile, I cannot underscore enough that this is what you will see when you get there. And tweets and replies, media, and likes. I'm just going to go over here to the likes. And I think what I want to do is start at the last tweet that I covered in the previous video and then work my way forward. So I'm just going to scroll on down until I find, where is it? The last thing I tweeted in last week's video was here from Warren Redlick. So what's happened since then, you may be wondering. If you've missed out on Twitter or been absent from the space or took a Twitter break, what did you miss? Well, I'll give you the highlights. So Elon talked about Lister being ridiculed by the establishment, but he was right. The guy who invented antiseptic surgery, the man for whom Listerine is named. Yep, so he was right. It's a good idea to sanitize your hands before doing surgery. People didn't think he was right, but he was. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes society is wrong, even though society contains experts. Those experts were taught stuff that's out of date, right? The information they're using to make their decisions is old. And people don't revisit their preconceived notions as often as they should, which is why Elon Musk reasons from first principles, build up from what we know to make your decisions. All right, what was this tweet about? This was just somebody saying a nice thing about my video last week. Is Tesla stock splitting 3 for 1? And the answer to that video, I'll save you some time if you don't want to go watch it, is yes, almost certainly the stock split is going to get approved by the shareholders, and then the board will vote on it, and they intend to do it. So yeah, that'll happen later this year, probably. Matt Taibbi said the ESG game is about to start unraveling big time. The SEC is investigating Goldman Sachs over its ESG funds, say people familiar with the matter. So I don't need to say a whole lot about this because Madam Alexandra S. has done a long video that I retweeted last week, which we'll see in a minute. Elon Musk said good to Matt Taibbi in response to hearing this news that the SEC is going to start investigating ESG funds, mostly for corruption or for the appearance of corruption or the reality of corruption. So these funds that say that they are environmental, sustainable, and that the governance of those companies is good, if you read the fine print, say that they haven't done any due diligence on the claims made by these companies. So basically, just to give you the very short version of this, if companies want to be included in these ESG funds, and they do, because their stock price will go higher if people buy into these funds that contain their company's stock as part of the index, then all they have to do is say that they rate themselves highly. You get to grade your own homework, and you get to say, yes, we're great for environmentality and sustainability and governance. And then you turn in a bunch of homework to these funds, to these companies that create the indexes. And you say, hey, we've scored our own homework. Here's how we think we're doing. And then it just gets rubber stamped by that company if they like you. They're allowed to make their own decisions about which companies go in. And you can see how there might be a problem here as people start shifting their investments out of normal index funds that are supposed to represent the total market return or the return of the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 or the Dow or whatever component you want to index against, to this this idea of ESG, which consumers mistakenly believe is a fair assessment of how good these companies are for the environment. And that is not what is happening. Let me scroll up here. Jeff at Jeff Tutorials says less than 5% spam bots my ass. And here's the the screenshot evidence of how many of these in a row. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that it's more than 5% spam bots from that screenshot. Well, I liked this tweet from Earl of Frunk Puppy. Why would I like a tweet that just says Rhode Island? Well, let's look at the context. Kim Paquette tweeted, what's the net for? Wrong answers only. So here is an electric vehicle that has a front trunk, but does it though? But does it though? Yes, I mean, that is a front trunk. That's not what you get when you buy a Tesla. Tesla gives you actual front storage space and not a place to store a deck of cards. So that was that. I also answered Kim's question. The buyer's remaining dignity, is that what you can fit under this net? I don't know. It's a guess. Wrong answers only. All right, so we'll go back to my likes. Well, I had to like this tweet from Elon Musk. He said, you're pretty great. And he said it in a reply to @I cannot underscore enough. Well, what the heck is happening here? Let's go take a look. So I tweeted, hey, Elon Musk, who's your favorite retail Tesla analyst? Retweeting Elon Musk saying James, which I thought was a high quality dad joke. I thought, hey, that's fun. Some people will read this and be confused and think that Elon is answering my question. Therein lies the comedic premise. What Elon was actually replying to was Renata asking, he's SJM, isn't he? What's his middle name? To Elon saying, my son Saxon suggested having a party for the whole world, a world party day. That sounds nice. So he's Saxon J. Musk, Saxon James Musk. Good strong name. Well done. All right, so that happened. So I got a couple of kudos from people for getting that recognition from Elon. Well played from Steven Spencer. Eva Fox responded appropriately with this meme of President Obama awarding himself a medal. That's that she has correctly apprehended the situation here. And Kim Paquette said, put that one on a mug. And I did. So I have a mug coming in. Maybe I'll feature it in a future video. I've got one back here already, which I will show you what this one was. This was my previous pinned tweet. So Elon did say, your insights over the years have been excellent. That's approximately right to me before. So I got a tweet mug for that. You can find these at tweetmugs.com, which is spelled like that with a Z, all one word. If you're interested in getting any tweet put onto a mug, you just copy and paste the link onto their site, and they let you have a quote on the mug. I realized that I should have stopped sharing to do that video, and so it wouldn't be a tiny video in the corner. Oh well. Lost opportunities. I'll try to remember that for next time. Okay. These are live videos. I don't edit these. It's like a live stream. Okay, he sure is. Aw, thanks, James Cat. I liked that. From dad joke to heaven. That's exactly what happened. Yep, thanks, Master Plan 2018. K10, Kristen says, look, you made James blush. Aw, I do look red in that photo, don't I? A lot more red than I look in these YouTube photos. I look very white in my YouTube photos with this light on, I guess. I don't know. And Maria says, just put this in your CV if you ever need to apply for a job again. It would be a very short resume, but some place might hire me off just that. All right, so enough self-congratulations there. And let's go on to Elon Musk saying, yes, can't wait for the Cybertruck to hit the market. It'll be Tesla best product yet. It'll be Tesla's best product yet. Tesla owners, Silicon Valley meant to say. Yep, well, I've got an order in for mine. So I think it's got a shot at being the best Tesla product yet. Pierre says how I'm picturing James right now. And I replied accurate. That's a pretty good GIF approximation of the situation. Alan says, my life is so boring. I get excited when I see your and your used properly. I do too. And it's hard to use them properly because autocorrect will correct them to be the wrong one sometimes. So, oh, just to show you what he meant. I had your in mine and Elon had your in his, and they were two different spellings and they were both used correctly. So rare to see that happen on social media these days. Time to update your pinned tweet. I did update my pinned tweet, so that was a good idea. Scott says he's also a super cool guy who has helped me many times. James is GOAT, greatest of all time. Aw, thanks, Scott. So I had to like that. Teslatino Raphael says that's awesome. And here's what I was talking about earlier, the ESG ratings House of Cards video. If you're interested in learning more about this topic that I touched on earlier about what's really going on with all these ESG funds that are out there, Alexandra did a thorough dive into the fine print that nobody reads these days. We all just agree to it and move on without reading it. Well, Alexandra read it, and you will be shocked at some of what she found, including these companies putting in clauses that let them completely off the hook for these ratings being of any use to anyone in terms of actually understanding the environmentality or sustainability of the companies that are in it. Lex Friedman said, Twitter DMs should be end-to-end encrypted. Also, Twitter, please verify me. I can't prove I'm human, but there are now bots pretending to be me. I need to know if I'm the original or they are. It'd be nice for people I'm DMing with to know this as well to help avoid scams. Lex, I feel you, buddy. That's it's a problem. And so I liked that tweet. Uh, Alexandra said something nice here. Honored by your endorsement. I cannot say enough how happy this makes me. Thank you. So that was nice. Kim Paquette with a couple of replies here. Uh, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Uh, but anybody know why I'm up greater than 1,000 followers in the past 24 hours? That is a bit above average. And Kim says they heard about my watts per mile. I do have the most efficient Tesla in the world. To my knowledge, 189 watt hours per mile is my lifetime average on my 2018 Tesla Model 3, even though I've been using FSD beta on it. And beta is not shy about punching that accelerator to get away from an intersection. So I'm still doing okay on my lifetime efficiency there. Elon told somebody, you obviously haven't tried Tesla FSD. What would prompt that response? Well, let's take a look. Francois Cholet says mass deployment of self-driving cars was less than 5 years away in 2016. Then in 2021, it was 2 to 3 years away. In 2024, it will be 1 year away. Zeno's AI milestone. Well, we'll see some more liked videos before we catch up to the present day. And FSD beta is doing pretty well in the city, and it's doing pretty well in rural areas. And yes, there are still more improvements needed to it before it gets to a public release or before it leaves level 2. But the engineers at Tesla have done a lot of the work already. There's a lot of work still left to do. Tesla owner Silicon Valley said the UAW has had nonstop campaigns against Elon Musk. The wind was taken out of their sails given previous 2 presidents were sent to prison. Yeah, when one of your presidents of the United Auto Workers gets sent to prison for corruption, and then they bring in another guy to clean up the corruption, and he also gets sent to jail for corruption. You're probably looking at a corrupt organization, right? Am I stretching the facts beyond their limits? I don't think I am. It's easy to see why the people who work at Tesla's Fremont factory do not want a union. Many of them are the same people who worked at that factory when it was the NUMMI plant, jointly run by Toyota and GM. And it was a union shop represented by the United Auto Workers, and they didn't save jobs at all, right? But they still took your dues money. So if I were one of those employees and I saw the way Tesla was treating me, giving me stock options, compensating me better than the rest of the industry, I wouldn't feel any need to vote the union back in either, right? That's my own personal opinion. I realize other people have other views on the topic. So yeah, Elon said yup to that. And to James Dalma, Elon said, in that case, you will really love 10.13. So James Dalma, just had a 2-hour FSD drive on winding mountain roads that was transcendent. It was perfect. Not good, perfect. Smooth, controlled, assertive, comfortable, better than human. Oh man, this is really happening. Bravo, AP team, bravo, Elon Musk. So that's what he was responding to there. Can't wait for 10.13. Should be fun. Pauline tweeted, another RTLS approaches at Vandenberg SFB this weekend with the Sarah 1 mission, camera prep underway. I just like this image. Check it out. That time lapse looks pretty great of the landing gear deployment on Falcon 9. Coming in for a landing. Fully and rapidly reusable rockets are what you need. to make orbital launches and colonizing other planets affordable. Yeah, and then next month, there's going to be a test of Starship, orbital test. That's what SpaceX is hard at work now, hard at work on. So Eva Fox tweeted, Tesla cars using driver assist systems are significantly less likely to crash than Waymo, Transdev, GM's Cruise, according to NHTSA's data. Although the regulator's data only shows the number of accidents, such a conclusion is obvious with a little digging. So the release was not very helpful. It was just, hey, how many crashes were there by company that's testing autonomous vehicles or advanced driver assistance systems? Yeah, so Elon Musk said correct. What did I say? I said, I would love to be able to update this chart with the number of FSD beta crashes per 1,000 drivers per year, which I think is kind of a more understandable way of reporting than the way it actually gets reported. And as an example of that, I retweeted myself from almost a year ago, saying I converted Tesla's safety report numbers from miles between collisions, where more miles per accident is better, kind of like a non-intuitive way of thinking about what safety looks like, to number of traffic accidents per 1,000 drivers per year, where fewer accidents is better. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be in a Tesla. So what's this do? This says, and I'll make this even bigger for your phones so you can see what's going on. And the average US vehicle is going to crash 25 times per 1,000 drivers per year. So if you just randomly sample 1,000 US drivers and you look at their most recent year of driving, they will have 25 accidents on average, is what this is saying. Now, you have to make an assumption about how many miles are in a year, and I've noted that at the bottom. Assumes an average of 12,000 miles driven per vehicle per year on average. You have to do this stuff based on averages because you can't get anywhere if you don't. If you compare that against a Tesla without autopilot or active safety, it's in half as many accidents, 12. If you compare this against a Tesla with active safety but no autopilot, 6 accidents, you know, half that much, or one quarter as much as the average vehicle. Tesla with autopilot engaged gets in 3 accidents per 1,000 drivers per year. So yeah, I don't know about you, I would rather be in a Tesla. And I will go back to my likes and we'll keep scrolling up. What did Sawyer Merritt tweet here? News, Tesla has a higher satisfaction rating than any other brand, according to new global happy motorist index via Zutobi. And what's this say? Tesla is the #1 brand with the highest owner rating of 4.53 out of 5. Tied for second place are Land Rover and Mazda at 4.3. So I like that. You can hear all sorts of good stuff from Sawyer Merritt, and he put in the thread the link that you can go check out to where he got that info from. What does Xanderhook1 say? Also, raised prices may discourage order holders waiting months for delivery from canceling their order, losing their locked-in low price. And I thought that was an excellent addition to what I said. What did I say? I said, why did Tesla raise prices on long-range configs? Well, bullet point #1, it fights cost pressures. So Tesla's suppliers are charging Tesla more for the parts and the raw materials that they sell to Tesla so that Tesla can build cars. Those are cost pressures, and the way to fight those is to raise your prices to maintain margin. Bullet point 2 encourages undecided buyers to go with standard range. Not that there are very many standard range cars available. You can get a standard range Model 3 today. In the future, there will be a standard range Model Y. you can't place an order for that right now, but maybe they'll convince some people to wait for a standard range Model Y. Sell more cars with smaller packs equals save more cell supply. So the less cells you put in each pack, the more vehicles you can sell. That is advancing Tesla's mission of accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. More electric vehicles out in the world is spreading the good news that EVs are better. And we've been getting a lot of help lately from those giant signs outside gas stations. Most places in California, those signs have gas prices beginning with a 6. That's helping to spread the word. Oh, by the way, a couple of months ago in California, 1 out of every 9 vehicles sold was a Tesla. So the message is resonating in California. Ryan McCaffrey calls the Tesla vehicles the California Camry, the Model 3 specifically, maybe. So saving more cell supply means Tesla can. There's more good news here. Send more cells to new factories not making enough of their own cells yet. So that's Austin and Berlin. Let Tesla Energy use more cells in power walls, power packs, etc. So help feed the energy division more cells. Make more vehicles per quarter to show that there's more growth and to get more EVs out replacing fossil fuel burning, polluting vehicles, right? And slow the pace at which wait times for new orders are growing. So I think last week we saw a chart from Troy Tesla showing that wait times continue increasing and increasing as time goes by. So you don't want those wait times to continue growing faster and faster. You would like to slow the pace at which those are growing, which price increases ought to help you do some of. So that's what Xander Hook's additional point was here. Hey, it can also discourage order holders from waiting months for delivery, from canceling their order. They don't want to cancel their order because if they ordered it again, they would pay a higher price for it. All right, back we go. What did Gary Black say here? Twitter virtual meeting has ended. Elon Musk set a goal of 1 billion Twitter monetizable daily active users. Said he doesn't have to be CEO, wants to drive product and be listened to. Will tolerate pretty outrageous tweets, not illegal tweets, but you know, trying to provide free speech within reasonable limits. Allow excellent staff to work from home and has never seen an alien. So I liked that. Quick recap. He crammed all that into one tweet artfully. And I liked a tweet from Yun Lin. If fighting misinformation is that important, why are retraction/correction sections of newspapers always buried all the way in the back? I thought that was an outstanding point. So what are we talking about here? The USA Today. Oh, they had to fire somebody for making up fake sources for their articles. So Elon said, wow, I said, it seems print media has not learned the lesson in editorial oversight it should have from the remarkably similar Stephen Glass story. This was 20 years ago. A guy got fired for doing exactly the same thing over about as many fake articles. It was about 20 fake articles that a guy named Stephen Glass, AKA the Fabulist, of the book of the same name. If you've seen the movie Shattered Glass, starring Hayden Christensen, it was about this character who worked for the New Republic from 95 to 1998 and made up a bunch of lies and published them as though they were the truth. So that's happening again. I liked this reply. They always bury their retractions in the back. So Aspie Maven said, oh darn, well, I already have 2 on order. I better hold my horses, LOL. So this was after she asked, are the raised prices soon or already? When do they take effect, or is it too late? And I said, unless Elon spills the beans early on Twitter, they aren't announced in advance. So as soon as anybody knows the price increase exists, it's already in effect. But I like that she had her 2 orders in already. All right, what did Mayor say? Mayor said public trust in journalism is at an all-time low and sinking lower. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think there's never been as many people aware that the people writing articles don't know what they're talking about or have biases or are writing just to get clicks, because that's the perverse incentive. Here's Jeremy Jadkins. I will resist the urge to make a transition segue and just read Jeremy's tweet. Tesla hater, I value my time. That's why I don't own an electric car. Me, you spend more time fueling your car than I do. I plug it in when I get home and I'm done. This is not well understood by people still driving gasoline cars. I spend way less time fueling my Tesla than I used to spend pumping gas into my Honda. Yeah, so like far, far less time. It's not close. It's not comparable. I mean, you get home, you get out of your car, you have to step out of your car anyway. You turn around, you grab your charging wand, you plug it in to the car and you walk away. I mean, how many seconds does that take? Not very many. You come back and it's charged. It's like if there were a service you could pay that would come to your house overnight every night and top off your tank with gasoline. That's what owning an electric vehicle is. Every morning when you go to drive your car, it's already full. Chicago Glenn said, you're doing amazing. Don't you worry, Elon. And had this graphic of the sexy cars that Tesla sells that I thought was pretty great, with the Model S here. Model 3, which had been the Model E until Ford sued to try to kill sex. Here's the Model X, the Model Y. This is a Cybertruck for the C. If you're wondering what an A is here, this is the all-terrain vehicle, or ATV, that will be an option for Cybertruck buyers to purchase. Here we have the R for the Roadster, the new Roadster, most people call it, and S for the semi-truck. These vehicles are going into production next year, if all goes well and with a little luck. If not, maybe the year after that. Sometimes things take longer than we think they will. Here's Martin Viecha, the director of investor relations for Tesla, tweeting, when investors think about innovation, they usually refer to creating the best product, but that's only half the story. So much innovation, the word from the Latin to just make something new, is directed at cost reduction. You can take new approaches to cost reduction. Figuring out how to reduce cost of something beyond what others thought was possible. Now that's innovation. Tesla is doing a lot of this, and I think Martin is telegraphing that those who are forecasting Tesla's margins to get lots worse due to global chip shortages and supply chain challenges and inflation have not given Tesla enough credit for the work they do to continuously drive costs lower through simplifying and being really creative with how can we deliver exceptional products at low cost. Here's Elon Musk saying lame. Now, why would he say lame? The CEOs of Velodyne and Innoviz announced today that they are forming the LiDAR Coalition, a policy advocacy group that will beg lawmakers for a bailout. Velodyne LiDAR, Innoviz Technologies, AI, Septon Continental, Ouster, and Quanergy Systems, all lobbying for LiDAR to be required by law. Now, why would Elon Musk say that this is lame? The answer, in my opinion, is that if you have a product that people want to buy, you don't need the government's assistance in selling it. So who has to go lobby Congress to pass a law to require that the stuff they make gets bought? People worried about whether anybody wants to buy their stuff. That's who, in my opinion, and that's why that is lame. Scott said, funny, last time I checked, no human has brain LiDAR, but they still let people drive. This is true. If you go out onto the roads today, nearly all the traffic you see will be people without LiDAR in their vehicle at all. And Eric from at Tesla Inventory of DA Eric, David and Eric, says, I guess that means we have to ban all human drivers too. Those LiDAR companies are out of their mind, which I had to reply to with, gee, are any vehicles safe without LiDAR? Oh, here's a tweet from me from October 15th, 2018. Tesla shorts, who at the time were saying, any vehicle without LiDAR is unsafe, exclamation point. Hey, guess what kind of vehicles are safe without LiDAR? Give up? All forms of transportation ever devised. see all of these? They all work without LiDAR. So for the same reason, Congress should reject as folly that lobbying group's pressure to pass a law requiring LiDAR in vehicles. It is not necessary, and the proof is self-evident. Also on this meme at the bottom, you can see I just put in text at I cannot underscore enough at the bottom to watermark it, because I didn't even have a watermark yet at this point in 2018. A meme so old, I didn't even have my own logo yet. All right, back to, yeah, there we just saw that tweet, and this one, and this one. Pierre says, I know of one safe form of transportation that uses LiDAR. And if you don't know what this is the SpaceX Dragon capsule. So occasionally you'll hear people criticizing Elon saying, well, he just doesn't like LiDAR. Well, the chief engineer of SpaceX is Elon Musk, and he implemented LiDAR as a solution for how to dock the Dragon capsule with the International Space Station. So LiDAR can be the right tool for the job in some situations and applications. It's just not needed for all applications, like any tool, right? Tesla says 1,000 Model Y built at Giga Berlin this week. Thanks, Tesla team. So here's the Giga Berlin team, and they sure look happy to have made 1,000 Model Ys in a week. That's a good pace. So if they are already at 1,000 per week, well, by golly, by my math, that's about 50,000 a year. That's pretty good. That's over 10,000 a quarter. Now, will they contribute 13,000 Model Ys this quarter, Q2 of 2022? No, they definitely won't, because they only just got there as of June 17th, which is only a couple of days ago. So for most of the quarter, they were producing less than that. We'll see if we get a breakdown from Tesla on production by site. I would love to get one, and I hold out no hope whatsoever that we will, because Tesla has not shown any penchant for releasing detailed production and delivery information by site, much to my displeasure. So this is not about Tesla. This is about Paul McCartney. He celebrated his 80th birthday, and I like Paul McCartney and think he's one of the greatest composers ever. So that got a like from me. Elon Musk says this will encourage people to change it. Haha. We're changing Starlink's default Wi-Fi name to Stinky. I'm pretty sure that's unique. This will encourage people to change it. Haha. I had to reply to that and say, if you want people to change the Wi-Fi network name right away, make the default Nickelback rules. This is how you remind them. So that's my humble suggestion. All right. We're getting pretty close to the present day now. 14 hours ago, Elon Musk tweeted, I agree it is. So what are we talking about here? Oh, me tweeting out last week's James's Gems of the Week. Elon asked, any advice during this drawdown, where's the bottom? And I said, good companies can get crazy oversold in bear markets, but if you're a long-term investor, Tesla is such a bargain nowadays. Lots of companies will struggle to grow the top and bottom lines this year, so companies growing earnings triple digits year over year are rare, not trading advice. So it's tough out there right now. Interest rates are rising, people are cutting orders, inflation is out of control. These are headwinds that will slow down the growth of a lot of companies, big companies, small companies, medium-sized companies, right? So if you're looking to make a list of companies that this year through this bear market are likely to grow their revenue by 10 billion or more dollars and grow their earnings by 100% or more, it's a short list. Like Tesla is on the list. I don't know how many other companies are on that list. If you want a company that's going to continue growing top line revenue or sales and bottom line profits or earnings this year, I don't know where else there is to go, right? So the flight to safety that may happen if the market continues to panic through the balance of 2022 is, well, let's buy a company that we know for sure is going to continue to grow and grow earnings. So Srilon said, I agree, it is definitely holding Tesla for the long term, excited about the future, just got FSD beta, and since driving it, I am even more excited about Tesla's future. Yep, Tesla has a lot of good stuff cooking that will make the company more valuable in the future. So if you're a long-term investor, why not pick up some Tesla at bargain prices mid-2022? And Elon tweeted out Shadow Crew. He loves the Shadow Crew. So that's nice. Thought I would give that a like. Jim Hall says, thanks for the shout out. Been preoccupied the past week and your vid was one of the first I watched. Nice surprise to see my own tweet mentioned. And I said, well, I can't very well have James's Gems of the Weeks without any gems, can I? You gotta have some gems in the Gems of the Week feature. Elon says Gwen is the best, which I liked. I'm not sure I understand this meme. Maybe leave for me in the comments below. So what's next for SpaceX after FAA approval? It's Orbin time. Like, I mean, Orbin here, I think is an abbreviation for orbiting time to orbit the spaceship. But beyond that, I can't figure out what that's a reference to. So maybe somebody out there knows. Maybe that's like music that the kids these days are listening to with their loud music and, you know, their rock and roll. And Elon loves his kids and says Happy Father's Day. Those are nice things to say. No James's Gems of the Week would be complete without a Tesla historian tweet. The Short Shorts historian tweeted, well, at least he discouraged shorting Tesla. What did Montana skeptics say 2 years ago? So in June of 2020, exactly 2 years ago, Montana skeptics said, as perhaps you know, I continue to discourage shorting Tesla. The Hertz phenomenon should be sobering for all of us. This was that Hertz placed an order for 100,000 Teslas, and the stock reacted favorably to that. Probably one of these little jumps that were right before this tweet was sent. Tesla growth story is over, Montana Skeptic said. European demand gutted, huge losses ahead in 2020. No money to build all of these promised factories. Worst fundamentals ever. And yet, yeah, Montana Skeptic was wrong a lot and continues to be wrong a lot, but still has a ton of followers in the Tesla Q community. Sawyer Merritt with another good tweet here, replying to a Clean Technica article from, what's the name of the guy who wrote this article? Steve Hanley. All right, that's all the clicks I'll give Steve Hanley. Sawyer says, very low to call Elon Musk principleless, selfish, a coward, small, obsessed with his own sexual prowess, a nut and a strutting peacock of a man who lacks the capacity to exhibit compassion in one article. And now I mute, Sawyer says. Yeah, so, well, I didn't mute him and I didn't block him, but Steve Hanley, I mean, you deserve all the criticism you get for writing a dumb article. I mean, this is not journalism done well. This is just a long rant on Clean Technica that Steve Hanley got posted. So I think I saw another good tweet about this. Now I lost where I was supposed to be, so I'll go back to my likes. Oh, we're there already. So Energy Vest has replied, this article is dumb. I did read the article. I'm not just critiquing the headline. I read the whole thing, Steve Hanley, and I did not care for it. I don't like the cut of your jib. Free speech doesn't mean paid company employees get to spend company time engaging in activism against their employer. It also doesn't mean there are no consequences to free speech. This is really important. Like, people will all the time say, well, if you believe in free speech, then why did those people get fired? Well, those people had free speech and they exercised it. Their voices were heard and there were consequences for the choices they made with the freedom they were given, right? People do not have to put up with language that they disagree with. They can mute you, they can block you, they can take other actions against what you have to say. And that's exactly what happened with some folks who were using company time to try to critique how Elon Musk handles himself in his personal time. So that's a foreseeable outcome of taking those actions. Also dumb, reporting on one side in a lawsuit as if it's gospel. That's not what journalists do. Journalists don't just say, hey, this lawsuit was brought and these are the allegations, and so it probably happened. The end. That's not journalism. I mean, it's not good journalism. It probably meets some definition of journalism, but not my definition of what good journalism is. So with that, you are current on James's likes. So I will stop sharing and say, if you have liked this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, why not subscribe to my channel? And that way you'll be able to see more videos when I make them in the future. And I'll see you in the next one.